I am already there.
You're being ignored for some weeks-long venture of his, pushed aside when one of his pulley system went down, and now you're stuck blowing shaved metal out of cylindrical tubes. It could be worse. In this hellhole, everything could always be worse. But the infection has sunk its claws in you for a good while now, and you've came to crave the madman's attention. Lucas, for the better part of the day, has only teased you with cold shoulders and silence. Still, you hang around him like a dog at his heels, doing whatever task he sees fit to give you. This job is easy and less bloody than some others you've done for him, and it lets you bask in the warmth of the surveillance room with him as his music pounds in your ears, your heart, and between your thighs. One after another, Lucas tosses metal tubes at you as he flushes the inner diameters to something almost sharp with a hand grinder. You've seen him welding something with gas tanks together just the other day, so your best guess is that these little tubes are gonna have flames shooting out of them or something. You're not privy to his experiments, but you've yet to see one that didn't serve some hellish purpose. This, you're certain, will be no different. He'll probably have you set it up for him when he's done, or act the victim and lead his prey into the playroom. You blow out through the tube in your fingers, peer through it, and rub sharp little stickers of shine off with your sleeve. When you've dropped it in the plastic bowl at your hip, you look up at Lucas with a guarded expression. He's got his lower lip stuck between his teeth, some pink tongue peeking through. It's distracting to the point that you get a short cutting edge of a tube in your face when he tosses the next one at you blindly. Oof! You grunt as the short cylinder pings off your skin to the floor. It leaves a little sting of pain, and once you've captured the bastard, you touch the throb on your face with a thumb, seeing it come away dark with blood. Shit! You curse, frowning at the stick of blood between your fingers. Lucas spares you a quick look, turns away, and then twists in his chair to face you, grinning and shaking with muffled laughter. Baby, look at you! Someone's getting slow, huh? If you wanted the moon, all you had to do was ask. You wrinkle your nose, brows bunching together, and dab at the cut with your ratty sleeve. The pattern of blood stains the dingy cotton in the crescent half moon. Figures, you think mournfully. It's just another mark on you of many, but this one's on your face, and Lucas seemed to like the way it looked, so you vainly scoff at it. Does it look bad? You ask, putting pressure on it as your eyes concentrate on the unique twitches in his face. The way his lips quiver in amusement, and those wild, bulging eyes of his widen further. For some reason, the way he's looking at you makes you blush. You didn't even know you could do that anymore. And he notices it. Sees it. Oh no, you think, freezing under his gaze. Lucas grins at you as if he's just had a life-changing epiphany and leans back in his chair with a loud plastic screech. He casually tosses the hand grinder behind him where it clunks across the desk, narrowly missing one of his monitors. You pause, watching, and his large hands rest on his thighs. Long fingers tapping a tune into his dirty brown pants. He grins all the while, and for the first time in a couple weeks, the look unsettles you. You blush further. You know, I just thought up the perfect job for you. He licks his lower lip and clutches the excess back of his pants, making a coarse growl as he looks down at you. You think it might be the dead fluorescence above your head that's causing it, but it looks like the crotch of his pants is tinted, as if he's sporting a boner under all this loose fabric. That's not possible, you think. You've walked around these rooms and hallways in your underwear before, and never once have you noticed a physical reaction from him. Why now? And wait, a new job? Just for you? For me? You repeat quietly. It's hard not to feel dumb when he rolls his eyes and hangs his head back like your stupidity has caused him physical pain. But he is the genius mastermind, not you. For a moment you stay still, unsure what he wants you to do, but when your fingers start to itch, you roll up to your knees, closing the distance. A stable hand placed just on the edge of his right knee gets you at least a little acknowledgement. Wide, wet, and maybe just a little insane eyes stare down at you. The smile Lucas had before is gone, but he still seems amused at least. And that steadies your breath while the music switches over to something pulsing and profound, massaging pressure into your chest. The bass flares and pounds and keeps you from hearing your own jackhammering heart. With a long lick of his lips, Lucas curls his teeth into his tongue. And there, finally, is the grin you've been waiting for. Your mouth twitches, curving into a hopeful smile. Suddenly he lunges, grabbing you under the arms and hoisting you up, kicking and jerking and frightened into his lap. "No, put me!" You suck in a sharp breath, hold still, and wait as his palms flatten over your ribs, pressing one at your back and the other on your hip. For a moment you thought he was going to snap you. Lucas just sits you in his lap, like it's something he's done a dozen times. His grip is tight. It's hot, and there's something hard underneath the back of your thigh. His cock, you realize, eyes widening in disbelief. Back when you were first thrown at Lucas' feet, months ago, by his father, your first thought was that you were going to be raped, maybe eaten afterward. When that didn't happen, you spent the following weeks wondering when he was going to throw you into one of his puzzle rooms, and when that never happened, you spent a couple weeks barely sleeping for fear that he was going to come at you once you let your guard down. 2 months in, and you were delegated to his special helper, feeding his ego when he needed it and doing all the little odd jobs he didn't have time for. Lucas was a busy man, with all his grandiose plans and never a moment to rest in between. It was a wonder he didn't have more helpers like you running around. Not once has he touched you inappropriately, and only a handful of times has he made you feel more than another set of hands. His mocking comments about your lovely face being one of such comments, and the rest so insignificant you can't even remember them, but now they were different than the norm. You started feeling fucked in the head about a month ago, maybe a bit longer than that, and as time trudged on you've been looking at him with rose-tinted glasses on. At first, the idea of fawning over him in any way made you sick to your stomach, but eventually you found yourself trailing after him, waiting for him to find a use for you, and lingering on the way he moved, and looked, and smiling dope sick at his tasteless jokes. Now, the feeling of his hard cock underneath you is much less terrifying than it would have been, should have been. The implication of its fixed presence makes your stomach flutter, and with a swallow of courage, you rest your hands under the open fabric of his hoodie, feeling his muscular bony chest and the pounding heart underneath. Yeah, you feel that, don't ya? Top choice me right there, and I'm feeling real generous tonight. Oh yes, I am. What you say, baby? Wanna give it a taste? You curl your nose at the idea, for even thinking about it. But Lucas just laughs, thumbing the underwire of your bra through the long-sleeve thermal of his you're wearing. No? Well, shucks. Guess I'ma have to find something else your prissy ass will handle. I've never blown a guy before, you admit. Not sure why you do, but it seems to squash the hidden luster for violence in his heart-shifting eyes. It's an honest fact, and though you haven't thought about sucking his cock, the idea isn't disgusting as much as shocking. Lucas, you say his name, getting his attention of where his thumb is rubbing. What's going on? You can't figure out what it was that shifted his mood so suddenly. Something he saw on your face? Was it just catching your blush that instigated all this? Going in low, right up along the shell of your ear, Lucas breathes. I could show you a thing or two. quiet in hell, and a flick of his tongue preceded his next hushed statement. But I got other ideas for you, baby cakes. Real fun plans. Just the two of us. You think you know what those plans are, but your throat has stopped working, and your silence just makes him nip your neck, giggling mad and loud. One of his fingers flicks over the top of your breast, finding the stiff bead of your nipple beneath. It sends a soft edge right down between your thighs. A shock, nearly electric, like makes you shiver when he does it again, sucking on his teeth in amusement. Step 1. Take these things off. He snarls it against your neck, snapping the waistband of your yoga pants with a yip of laughter. You stop and blush, and curl your fingers into his undershirt, staring at the dark, sleepless canvas under his hot, shining eyes. He's serious. Of course he is. You feel fluid slip out between your thighs and hang your head as red soaks further into your face. You feel a kindle of anger in your chest, knowing this has to be some game. He's going to fuck with you until you're a mess, and then he's gonna laugh and kick you out into the hallway. Or something else demoning. Don't be shy now, and nothing I haven't seen already. Lucas grins, ignoring or oblivious to the look of horror on your face as he shoves his flat palm down your hip, between flesh and spandex. You don't stop him. In fact, you lift up as he pulls them down your thighs and past your calves. They sag around your ankles, and without thinking you kick them off to the floor. The rough fabric of his pants brushes against your wet cunt as you sit back down in his lap, teasing. As he drags the thermal over your head, your heart finally starts palpitating, running erratic and panic between your skinny lungs. It reeks of sex already, and with a dense swallow you unhook your bra before he can and let it slip to the floor. The way Lucas looks at you confirms he's seen you naked before. How has he? You don't even want to know, but he has, and with a quick lick over his teeth he whistles, Ma, you're looking good. This is stupid, you tell yourself in a mumble, staring at him with wide waiting eyes. If you wanted to fuck me, why now? His lips part, teeth unclenching, but he doesn't answer you. He just lets his mouth slide up in a wicked grin. Without thinking, you push an arm across your breasts, feeling his eyes when they turn down to your tits again. No need to be shy now, you and me. We've been through a lot together. So, he grins, curling a mighty hand around the back of your neck, pulling you in close. What you think about me? Am I gonna need to bust out the loop, or are you as soaked as I'm thinking you are? You're such a pervert, you complain, for a second forgetting where you are and what you're not wearing. And I'm not shy. I didn't wake up this morning thinking you'd pull a game on me, of all people. Lucas throws his head back and laughs, barking with it until you're worried he's going to choke on it. Shit, baby, you've been part of my game all along, stupid bitch. He tucks your arm down and pinches your nipple hard enough to send pain down your breast. You jerk backward and slam him across the face, but he grapples at your limbs, chuckling as you struggle. This isn't the first time you've wrestled with him, both playfully and maliciously. He never molested you, but that didn't mean he didn't have to fight you a few times in the beginning. You didn't accept your fate as his assistant without rebelling a couple times. But this time you're not upset or scared or sick. This time, as he pins your arms to your sides and growls as you wiggle, you're dripping wet. Never before have you felt so dizzyingly turned on. Before you even stop struggling, he's squeezing you until your back cracks, and then his lips are coating your own. His tongue working between your shocked lips into your mouth. Lucas tastes like the powdered donuts you watched him eat earlier. It's sweet and sickly, and you groan as his tongue licks the flavor into your own. You bite the tip of his wriggling appendage, feel him vibrate with a groan, and slant your lips along his own to make it all deeper and more suffocating. His hands wrap around the messy bundle of hair at the nape of your neck, yanks it back, and slips kisses down the front of your throat. Teeth sharp and dull at once, break down your jugular, bump on the hard edge of your collarbone and further down. You are having a mold dream. Sometimes they are vivid and filthy, and that's all this is. Lucas isn't actually doing these things to you. Lucas yanks your hair back further until you're bent as far back as you can go and sucks a nipple into his mouth. It's hard and brutal, and you whine as he bends your back deeper until your breast bounces free of the suction. He doesn't spare you a second for mercy until he's turning his cheek to do the same to your other nipple. He's going to bruise your skin like that, but it's making your cunt slippery, hot and throbbing. This is a dream anyway, so you don't care what he does as long as he keeps doing it. Your hands linger between the both of you. Even if your arms are caged, it's the perfect angle to seek out the zipper of his pants and set the hard line of his cock free. You get at the zipper, but the button makes you growl in frustration. Lucas huffs and chuckles against your tits, biting all around the soft skin until they ache. It's distracting, having his lips and teeth everywhere, but you're determined to feel the hot weight of his dick in your hands. Finally, you free his cock, welcoming it into your palms, squeezing the long length with both hands. Fuck this, he snorts, frantic and hoarse. He releases your arms with barely a second to spare, before he tips your hips back and yanks you forward again, impaling you on his cock with one delicious slice. It throws your mind into a frenzy, your body into eager desire. With a mass of moving limbs, he gathers your knees up under his arms and twists you around with his cock inside you all the time. He's got you turned around now, sitting back in his lap, facing the same monitor he'd been staring at when this all started. How had you not noticed it before? You think as heat fills your cheeks. It's you on the screen, paused behind running VHS scars. It's hard to make out at first glance, but it's definitely you, and you're topless, in the middle of tugging a shirt over your head. He's been spying on you, and though the realization shouldn't be so shocking, it is. What the hell? Look! You gasp, voice dying as he slides his hips upwards, curling his stomach muscles until, with the hold he has on your waist, bottoms out. Hold your horses now, he whispers, groans in that way he does when he's making nasty threats to the captives on his screen. This part coming up is worth the wait. You swallow down a flood of saliva as your cunt tightens. Just hearing him like that, as if he's got gravel in his throat, makes you come oh so close to finishing. You get the nervous feeling that this isn't a dream. It never was. Fuck, you manage. His cock, it's so deep at this angle that you feel unable to breathe until he lifts you back up. It offers you just enough time to pull in a lungful of air before Lucas growls, curls his finger into your stomach and slaps you back down in his lap. Sweet, nasty bliss draws inside your gut. He does it again, making you fall to your elbows on the desk. He rams himself inside you again, and over, until the smacking sound of wet, sticky flesh echoes over the hard-going beat of gutter music. You brace your palms on the desk, and watch the jittery image of you undressing, and imagine what he's been doing all alone as he watches you. Has he been stroking the same cock he is pounding away inside of you to you changing? How long has he been spying on you like this? Fuck, you think, as the stabbing bliss runs your body wretched. It doesn't matter how long, none of it matters but this. You think you're alright with everything the way it is, even if it's fucked up and devious and everything terrible Lucas embodies. But then it gets worse. Lucas shoves you down inside the hollow of his hips and keeps you there, snarling against the back of your neck. If you like that, wait until you see this. His teeth sink into the back of your shoulder, not deep enough to bleed but hard enough to hold you still, as one sweaty hand falls off your waist to grapple at the monitor dial. He turns it with a shaking hand, fingers twisting on the record above it, and then You're staring at yourself and Lucas as he grins around the meat of your flesh. His hips jerk up, and you watch your lips part in a sharp moan. A red button blinks sluggishly on the webcam taped on the top of the VHS player. He's recording. He's recording the both of you fucking as his hips rise up and down, dragging along the sensitive flesh inside you until you can't bear to see yourself like that anymore. You lean back, squeezing your eyes shut as your breasts bounce against your ribs. With your hands gripping hard on his spread thighs, you throw back into his thrusts. "Oh yeah, yeah, look at you, baby!" He jibs and shouts, bruising your sides with finger marks. Without his grip, you'd have fallen off his lap a long time ago. You're grateful, but can't quite voice it right now. Everything feels too sensitive, too good to waste any effort on talking. You shift and push your knees together so you can get the most out of the fast-paced slide of his thick, long cock. It feels tighter like this, deeper than before with your knees closed, or maybe having seen yourself like that has made it so much more real and raw than it ought to be. Against your better judgment, you sneak a peek at the monitor. Ever so slowly your eyes widen, taking in the black and white image of you rolling back into Lucas' thin hips. His extensive long-fingered hands span your waist, dimpling in the flesh above your navel. The sweat on his forehead shines as he hangs his head to the side. You meet his eyes inside the monitor and feel a hard bolt of pleasure swim up your center. He's been watching you inside the monitor this whole time. "Yes," you whimper. "So close." You're going to come. It's so close now, and in a move that takes your breath away, Lucas shows a hand down between your legs, wedging 2 fingers down against your hidden clit and rub like it's a stain he's trying to remove. It's unpracticed and clumsy. The touch is too hard to be pleasurable under normal circumstances, but being as far gone as you are, it's perfect. With a twitching jerk, you sob and come, throwing your head back as your chest heaves. "God damn!" Lucas sees this and slows his thrust into a slow roll. "Would you look at that? I'm gonna have to screen cap that one. Go on, look!" You stare only because he squeezes your tender clit between his fingers, jolting your eyes open. A final shiver runs through you at the image of the 2 of you on the screen. It's obscene, but the sight of you arched backward over him, while the curve of your ribs kept the heel of his hand, his fingers shining between your thighs and your breasts, jiggling with every pant is something else for sure. For a moment or two, Lucas looks back at you through the screen and smiles. It's almost sweet and simple. His hands slide along your sweaty skin, meeting just under each breast, thumbs teasing the weight of them softly. That gentle little facade drops in an instant, and he squeezes your tits like an anchor and pounds upwards into you. It's brutal and it hurts, but it's so fucking good too that you swear and hiccup and fall back into each thrust until you're bent over the desk and Lucas is standing, bent knee behind you. A hard hand shoves your chest down into the dirty surface as his hips smack into your rear over and over. Lucas snarls, and out of nowhere he slaps your ass with all the force of a sucker punch. Pain sears your skin, but that pain just fuels the flames, like spurts of gasoline on a bonfire. You're just at the edge of a second orgasm when he wraps an arm around your hips, elbow on the desk beside you and slams your back into his hips, holding you there. Warm, heavy spurts of cum spill inside you, and more flows as he bucks up a few final, shallow times. You rest your cheek on the hard surface of the desk and exhale, blowing crumbs and dust away. You were so close, and still are, so you slide a hand down between your thighs and find your slippery clit with a loud moan. Your knuckles brush his still buried cock, pulling a hum of pleasure out of him. You rub and slide and pinch that spot of pleasure, his palms rubbing the meat of your ass until your muscles flutter softly around Lucas' softening cock. It's a slow, quiet orgasm, but it sucks away the last of your energy, and there you rest, nothing more than a ragdoll. Hope you're alright with me getting that on video. When you're long gone, I wanna have something to remember you by. And this is grade A spec material. You roll your eyes, and he pats your backside mockingly. Lucas talks about getting rid of you often enough that you're less afraid of the threat and more annoyed. Though it's hard to feel anything but that sweet empty sensation now. He fucked you better than you can ever remember being fucked before, which says more about you than it does about him, but hell, fuck it. As long as he throws you a bone like every once in a while, you figure life here with him might actually improve. The idea makes you smile at such a hopeless thought. Lucas can keep up his pretenses all he wants. You know how much the piece of shit likes you, and that gives you a new power to wield over him as you see fit. Life just got more interesting.